You've said recently it's going to take until 2013 for AOL to get turned around. You've got a year now.
Right.
What are you doing?
We're doing a few things. One is that we made some very big investments over the last 2 years, and I think those are really starting to pay off. As a matter of fact, I would hope, AOL in 2011, when we look back, will have actually taken some market share in the ad business for the first time in many years, and I think we've had consecutive...
No reading on that yet. You're thinking that's what the numbers are going to show?
Yeah, we are. We have earnings next week,
right.
and I haven't seen everybody else's earnings, but in general, we had a very strong 2011. We had 3 quarters in a row of global advertising growth. So I'd expect us, we did a lot of investment, a lot of focus, removed a lot of cost, and now we're purely executing, and I think we're executing in the right areas. We invested where the puck is going on the internet, and now the business is starting to come towards us, which is great.
So in 2012, is AOL going to spend less money, fewer acquisitions, if any?
Yeah, we, as a global focus, and all the employees, I send a weekly note out to all 5,000 employees, and in that weekly note now, I'm hammering at product innovation, technology, and so I'd expect us to be a very focused product company this year, less on the acquisition side, and I think we'll continue to rein in spending.
So I've got to ask, because last time we sat down and spoke, you didn't say yes and you didn't say no. Any interest in buying Yahoo?
Right now, our only sole focus is execution, and I think one of the things that we have an advantage of is because we're so focused on our own strategy and execution is we can be a standalone company in a standalone way with tremendous scale. So I'm not looking at any other companies right now other than AOL.
So no.
I'm not looking at any other companies right now, and the answer is no.
Your take on Google's search becoming social. Is it fair? Is it smart? Is it anti-competitive?
I think it's smart. I mean, I think one of the things that Google has done a tremendous job of is tying all their accounts together and services together. I think they have a very long-term strategy. They're a big partner of ours, and I spent a decade there. So, on the standpoint of on the competitive front with them, you have to be very careful how we set our services up so you don't get in the crosshairs of their long-term strategy. But I think overall, if you look at Facebook's doing, you look at what Apple's been doing, look what Microsoft's been doing, a lot of people are moving in this cross-network, cross-social, cross-services. So that's a reality for the future. And I think, Google's going to have to navigate their course, carefully because of their market share and those things. But the world is heading in that direction, and I think they'd probably become uncompetitive if they didn't. So,
well, it's just garnered such commotion,
right,
from competitors, from other folks. But it seems like you're saying they have no other choice, and.
I mean, to some degree. I mean, you have to be very careful, I think, in terms of their market share. They're a big partner of ours. We also get a lot of content distribution from them, so we're watching it closely.
Does it make your business better?
What we see happening, which I think will make our business better, is massive investment in devices, massive investments in the services to distribute content, and massive investments in networks. So the more people invest in those areas, our strategy is built upon the fact that over a long period of time, people are going to make those investments, and we're going to have great content brands that are must-carry brands on those areas. So I'm happy if that world gets very competitive.
Well, talking about those investments, you've said 75% of your clients include mobile components. So what's your strategy to beat competitors in the mobile space?
Yeah, so mobile comes down to something very simple, which is brands want to run cross-screen, cross-platform, and our best strategy is to make sure our ad systems, and this is very technical, but if you're going to win in advertising long-term in the internet, your systems need to be able to handle web, mobile, eventually plasma, and do it seamlessly. So we put a big tech investment there, and we're very happy with it, and I think we'll continue to work very hard.
Push money and resources into that.
AOL has faced some investor pushback on your growth strategy.
There's been some pushback against Patch, saying there's just been too many losses there. There's been some pushback against the display ad business. Do you think the criticism is justified?
Well, I would say 2 things about that. Number one is AOL was the worst corporate merger in history. And I think unless we have a bold strategy and we execute it aggressively, the company won't be successful. So my job as CEO, I mean, you rarely get accused of having too bold of a strategy, but the investors who have been noisy about our strategy, they're saying it's too bold. I'd rather get accused of being too bold than not bold enough, number one. And number 2 is, I think we've made material progress. I mean, there's very few companies on the planet that have removed $500 million in cost, have clear growth going on the innovation products and services, and are considered something that people probably counted AOL out. Now we're in the middle of the conversation, and I think from our standpoint, I'm okay with a little criticism. I'm also a big personal investor in the company, so I'm not going to spend multiple years of my life at a company where we're working 18 hours a day to not have a good outcome from investors, and I would expect us to become a growth story, shortly.
What, shortly?
I would really hope that AOL gets back to profit growth. Probably won't happen this year, but revenue growth in 2012, I'd love to have happen.
Profit growth 2013?
Yes.